So it turns out I got a new fucking phone, and I finally... So the audio on that other one was so bad, and I still have like a vlog to post up, but I was actually talking about neurological pathways in that past one, and right now, we're passing... Okay, cool. And right now, that's what I actually have to go to Sprint because my sister had went to go exchange my phone, and she forgot the box there. But after that, I have to go to work, and then tomorrow I have to basically do all of these, like I have to apply to this new place I'm trying to work at, and then do some interviews, like video interviews for tomorrow, which is, I mean, whatever. It has to be done. I just am not really, like, satisfied with my current, like, state of mind. I don't know. I did talk a lot about, like, neurological pathways, but recently what happened, with the stars is, like, a lion's gate, which, oh my god, like, if you don't like astrology, then, like, probably, like, sign off, honestly, but, like, basically, like, maybe astrology is fake or whatever, but, like, there's this whole thing that happens in August 8/8, like, every year, where it's just, like, the lion's gate is basically, like, a portal of energy, kind of, and every year it's, like, it's trying to, like, basically, like, teach you something, like, every year, I guess. So it also talks about how, like, you know, perhaps, oh my god, what was I saying? I'm, like, driving. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't do this. But, yeah, basically, it's just, like, a push of energy, and you have to, like, learn every year, like, almost, like, what you've learned so far since, you know, that time, frame, and you have to learn to release, you know, what isn't serving you, because if you don't, like, if you're still attached to it, like, this, basically, like, push of energy, like, you won't have that push of energy because you're still holding on to, you know, like, the past or whatever. Anyway, that's, like, a long-ass intro, but, yeah, basically, I've been learning a lot about, like, boundaries, and still trying to learn, like, what the difference between, like, you know, like, trying new things, but also it's like, okay, what, you know, is this a form of distraction? Like, am I trying to distract myself? And recently I actually, I cut off, a relationship that I had with, a friend and stuff, and I actually think that that's what I want to do today's video on, and basically that's just, you know, sometimes, like, and this also has to do with the Lionsgate, it's like, life will try to teach you lessons, and if you don't, like, learn it, it'll keep happening to you until you finally, like, learn that lesson. And, yeah, basically, I feel like, for me, it's just, like, learning your worth, like, in friendships and such, but, yeah, I'll probably touch up on that a little bit later. So, hi, Funny here. I'm actually gonna go stop by this coffee shop that I always pull up to, because they literally have, like, the best oat milk ever, and the coffee tastes amazing, except I've already had 2 cups of coffee, so I can't do that again. But normally I come here to, like, relax, I guess, and to work on my art. So that is what we're doing. I'm probably making that squinty face the whole time in this video, but yeah, like, I think, like, going away kind of, like, helps me, like, having a space or whatever helps me focus and actually work on my art. Oh my gosh. So I didn't record anything inside because I kind of get shy, but does that piss you off whenever people are chewing with their, like, mouth open or whatever? Actually, I came to get bowls here after work, honestly, because I'm, like, craving sweet stuff. I want to stop getting coffee all the time. But yeah, I didn't end up showing anything from the fucking coffee shop place. And I just ordered, like, a Thai tea, and this is, like, cute. Oh, that's for me. They have, like, a little... Okay, honestly, I feel like I get shy inside these places because it's, like, for some reason, it's, like, the college students, like, I'm, like, quaked. I mean, like, that's really all, like, the only people that come here anyway. But I actually hate coming to this place because, like, I feel like all their drinks suck. They were gonna call these, like, late night therapy sesh, dare I say, in my car. just kidding. But this is kind of gonna be like me journaling. Well, all lulls aside. Basically like ending toxic friendships, toxic relationships. It's important to pay attention to like any kind of relationship, or maybe if you're unsure, like it's like how you feel afterwards. And it's important to remember that also, like how someone is in the beginning of the relationship won't always be how they are. Like it makes sense that they're gonna change. But I was in this friendship that I recently ended because of many reasons. But basically I just got to this point where I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm literally not telling this person who I'm hanging out with. This person just wasn't taking, you know, me being with other people like in a good way. And like, although it was kind of like funny, LOL, and this person was like super clingy. And the thing is, it's like, yes, yes, it's funny, or like, yes, like you can kind of brush all this off or whatever, but it does kind of add up, or like it becomes increasingly frustrating, all the things that you blow over. And you know, having a clingy friend, having someone that's gonna like tear your other friends down, like, and other things that I definitely didn't really, you know, like mention or whatever, things that like, it's like overwhelming. It's like literally I felt drained. It's like, really pay attention to how you feel after any, you know, sort of connection. And it's like some of the things that he was doing, it's just like, it's really not okay when other people do it, but when you know what I mean, like when he does something, it's like, okay, no one's saying anything. And you know, just because you brushed it aside doesn't mean that, you know, that's what you have to keep doing. It's important to like take a step back and realize like, hey, one, this situation's like literally draining me. Two, this person has like a lot of attachment, and you know, things like that. And there's other things in this relationship that I was like, what the fuck? Nothing big has to happen for you to decide, hey, I don't want to be in this friendship relationship anymore. It's like, maybe you're moving on, maybe you view life like kind of like differently, or you know, whatever. There were some things that I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I'm like not okaying it for other people, but with this person, like, it's, you know, doing what I always do, where it's just like I don't really say anything, and I started to feel shamed. And it was like this whole thing. It's just like, and the other thing too is, it's like what I'm realizing now in my life is like, I try to do this thing where it's like I try to analyze and create like deeper connections with people, and like really, I need to stop moving, I'm sorry, you know, try to create deeper connections and really understand where they're coming from and stuff. But like, the thing is, it's like me trying to understand like their psychology and like why they do the things that they do. It's just like, at this point, it's like, who fucking cares? Like, this complicated person that you subconsciously, you're trying to you know, like, you're trying to understand, like, where does this trauma come from? I don't know what. It's like, who fucking cares? At the end of the day, they're still acting like the way that they're acting. Like, you can't change that. You can't teach someone to love you. You can't stop someone every time and be like, hey, you really shouldn't be doing that. Or like, hey, can you do more of this? Like, every single time. And there's just like so many aspects of it. It was like me thinking like, if they like don't know how to do this, if they don't know how, like, for example, in a relationship, if they don't know how to treat a woman like good in this aspect of their life, who knows what other aspect of their life I still have to keep teaching them, or they just don't know. And it's like, why do you have to be teaching? You know what I mean? Like, why do you have to be the one, hey, you know, I really need to send you like 3 paragraphs of why what you fucking did was wrong. It's just like, you have your own healing, your own internalized I guess blockages that you have to, you know, already be mindful and be like, hey, like, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And sometimes it could be because you're trying to get something out of it, like whether you realize it, like maybe like an emotional payoff. So it's important to also like take a step back from certain situations and be like, okay, like say you get out of a relationship, you're like, okay, I know what's wrong with them. And maybe you're still like lingering on it or whatever, but it's like, it's important to ask yourself, like, I know what's wrong with them, but because you're so invested in this, it's like, what's wrong with you? Sometimes like life will try to teach you certain things. It's like, one of them is like, life will try to teach you certain life lessons in your life. Oh my fucking god, sorry, I can't speak apparently. And if you don't learn from it, that's when you start to meet the same person but in a different body. And in my past relationships, like, this is what kind of happened, like friendships / relationships, and this is like a different like friendship or whatever, you know, like this person just like wasn't investing time is this like a relationship, like friendship, sorry, like they, you know, I really thought we're close and I would always go visit this person, but you know, they definitely wouldn't do the same back. They would go meet with their partner and like with their other friends, but didn't really make time for me. And there was a lot of times that I put aside to go visit this person since they lived so far away. And again, it's like this person wasn't seeing my worth. And I remember this person was telling me that with their partner, at one point they kept asking like, hey dude, like it's really like, it's, you know, it's really not my fault, or like, I guess I'm not the one, it's not too much of me to ask for you to, you know, pay more attention to me, or like I need more from this, like it's not my fault, kind of. Where she was realizing that she had more worth, and she was telling that to me, and that's something that she explained to her boyfriend. And I like thought about that, and I felt the same about our relationship, which is so funny. But again, like later I got into this relationship and it was the same thing. It's like life was trying to teach me something, and I wouldn't say it's exactly the same thing, but essentially like this person didn't value me, and I definitely learned from that after 6 months. And it's just like, I'm not trying to figure out anyone's like psychology, like you fight, like especially with men, it's like you have to learn to draw the line and be like, bro, you have to go to therapy, because you can't like, I read somewhere that's like, you know how like difficult it is for you to change your like your habits, your routines, your whatever. It's like, you know how hard it is to like create new habits, like change within yourself. Imagine how hard it is, like so now it's like even harder like trying to change someone else. That was my rant at exactly, I just got out of work, and I guess 10:57, that's the time that I like to rant. At night I feel most alive, but I'm trying to change my schedule. So thank you for being here with me and spending time with me and listening to my current truth. I'm constantly evolving, and at first, like, it's easy to kind of become bitter by learning everything that you know, learn as you're going through life or whatever. But honestly, I'm at this point where it's just like, I'm kind of almost like happy that people are realizing these things about themselves. Like, if, you know, like if they hate me or they decide they don't like me or whatever, it's just like, good, you know, at least you're realizing, like, you're like learning things about yourself, and you're realizing, hey, like, you know, like she's I don't know, like she's not worth my time or whatever. It's like, good, thank you for learning something about yourself. I don't know, I'm trying to be at peace with everything, and I feel like I'm getting there, honestly. Like, not that I was ever like angry or anything, but just it's really good to set time apart and just like take a step back. And also I'm like honestly trying to learn to like laugh at a lot of things, because it's so easy to like end things with people and then be like so fucking emo about it. But life's too short, honestly. It's literally too short. All the advice that you give people, like people in like relationships or friendships, like, no dude, stop being so emo, life's too short, blah, blah. It's like, tell those things to yourself.